And in that ruthless quest for efficiency, I'm afraid that I may have accidentally reinvented the Free T2. Well, shit. I was honestly a little surprised that the T2 does not have the slot for the tweezers like the T4 does, but we're going to swap that out anyway with a 3D printed version of the spacer. That's going to allow us to use the full complement of Victorinox scale tools. Now, I've tested these out just a touch, and the tweezers fit well. I've also got slots for the pen, the pin, and the toothpick. Those are a little more snug. I probably need to go in and either refine the design or work on the, maybe just work it in with a drill bit or something to get these to fit a little more smoothly. I'll post a link to the original STL where I found this design. If I can, I've modified it to have the pin slot instead of an additional kind of toothpick size slot. If I can, if his license allows remixes, I will share my STL as well. Otherwise, you'll have to do those modifications on your own. But this is the basic design. We're going to swap that in here and hopefully get those holes drilled out a bit. As I'm dismantling this tool, I want to talk a little bit about the tool set I've chosen to go with. This is going to live on my workbench here where I dismantle a lot of Leatherman tools all the time, as well as other brands for my store, multipartstore.com. And I wanted to have a knife on the bench because as it's warming up, sometimes I don't have my EDC knife in my pocket, and I need a knife to open up boxes all the time. So that's what this is going to start as, or where this kind of started from. And then there's a few other things that I've needed recently that are not included in my normal kind of dismantling tool set. That being this modified rebar, which has the bit driver and then a couple of flat blades and a small file. So that's my kind of standard tool for this. But I wanted a secondary that I could pull out for certain things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that knife blade here on the T2. I'm also going to keep the Phillips head driver because that's come up a few times. I just don't have one in the shop. So I'm going to keep that on there for now. And we'll probably keep the awl as well, just because that's small and different from anything else. The large flat blade driver is going to get swapped out, believe it or not, with the can opener from a free series, like a free P2 or P4. These we also sell on the site. All these parts we sell on our site, which is my site, full disclosure. Not trying to shill it, just let you know they are available from me and other sellers. But I'm going to swap that out for the can opener because I've been using the can opener of late to remove the scales on Swiss Army knives. Here's a nice ruby red one that I just took off a Swiss Champ, and it's nice to have the can opener actually works super, super well without risking damage to the scale or to my fingers. I'm hoping to be able to dismantle the scales a little bit more reliably going forward. So we'll continue popping these screws out. I think that's going to release, excuse me, all of the tools. We'll see here. I haven't taken apart the T2 yet, or any of the Free T series. The magnet's holding them in right now. So yeah, those are coming out. And there's the blade. Oh, there's a second screw in here. I did not know that. Or a second spring, excuse me. I might remove that. One of the things I feel is pretty suboptimal about the Free T series is the blade. There's another washer. Is difficult to get out. I don't feel like I have a good grip on the tool. I have larger hands, massive, but larger. And so I really have a tough time getting that blade open, and I think the spring tension is part of that. So I might tweak the springs on there and only go with one. But let's get this apart and get the liner back in and go from there. This will be a handy tool to have on the bench going forward. Another thing that's really, I don't know about these, the Free series and the Arc as well, is these, I feel that the Torx heads, the screw heads are so shallow that the drivers just like to slip. They're not, I mean, they're not super, they don't have a ton of Loctite. They're not super difficult to open, except that you got to be careful because this, whoa, there goes everything. But as soon as you start to get off angle at all, the driver head just likes to slip. Let's see if I can pick this all up without falling out of my chair. All right, one last screw. Then we can look at how we're going to be putting this back together. Let's take a look at the magnet mechanism here. Is that done finally? Okay, it looks like all of the pivots and screws are identical. Let's get this vise out of the way. It's driving me nuts. Let's slide these parts over to the side. So that scale just comes off. Oh yeah, there's your plastic spacer. It's a really interesting material, very durable. But I'm sure our PLA will serve its purpose. And then, oh, that's built in. I didn't realize the plastic magnet cover is built into the spacer. And then looks like there's another, yeah, is that a magnet too? There's two little magnets here, or one magnet and a piece of steel that just acts as a cover. And there's the other scale. Okay, so let's see about putting this back together. I think all of the screws came from the right side. That's backwards, yeah, okay. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's slip some pivots back in, help hold it in place. So those are the only two. There's two here. Is there not two here? Oh, yeah. I might need two. Yeah, you can see that. That hole's a bit clogged up. Let's see if I can... Ooh, is that right? Or are these different diameters? Let's see here. Those do look significantly different. Am I making another mistake? Am I making another obvious mistake? There's 1, 2, and yeah. That's an open hole at the end. Is it open for a lanyard? Yeah, I think that's open for a lanyard. I am a fool. Let's see. Everyone's screaming at their screens right now. Pick number 3, my lord. Ooh. This might be another spot we need to drill open, just because I don't think I can try tapping it in, but I don't think we're gonna be able to get those pivots through there. All right, I'm gonna pause while I get these things kind of drilled out and cleaned up, and then we'll come back and get this beautiful mess of parts reassembled. In the interest of completing this video, oh, hello. In the interest of completing this video, I'm going to proceed, but there it goes. I drilled out that hole, but I haven't gotten the scale tool holders to where I quite want them just yet. So that'll be something that I'll have to finesse in a future project. It seems like they're a little more off than I would expect. I had to cut down the toothpick to fit. The pinhole was just too malformed from the 3D print. It's just not a high enough resolution. And the pen doesn't even come close to fitting. But the tweezers fit fine. So for what it's worth, that was not at all the issue. But I'm going to go ahead and just assemble this and see where it's at. And my plan then is going to be to potentially go back and create a new file. I'll probably just start from scratch because if I oops, get that dehumidifier off, I'll probably start from scratch so that what I put together can be kind of my own design and solve some of the issues that I'm seeing here, and be a little more production capable. I'll probably list the file for free, but then also have my own versions available for sale. So just slip it in the lock bar there, and let's see what order we want to go in, because I think it's 3 screws. Where's the third one at? Oh, that's really interesting. This 3D print design eliminates a screw hole. Because if I go this way, you'll see this is a hole on the original, and it's a pin on this one that locks that side into place. That's going to be interesting. Not sure what that means, but I guess for now what it means is we can continue assembling the tool. I'm trying to keep this in shot here. So I've got the Phillips, the awl, and the can opener. I'm not particularly picky about what order those go in. I've also got a couple of, I got the plain blade and a spring, and then there's a couple of washers we'll pull out here in a second as needed. Let me, I guess, just get started. So I haven't put a lot of these free series tools together, but I do know this is the direction. I'm leaving one of the springs out this time. I'm just going to put one right next to the locking blade. In fact, let me grab some spacers. We do have spacer packs available on our website if you don't have any from your tools. I actually have some from this tool. So I recommend, usually you're going to start with a tool that already exists, and then you can add spacers from there. Where are my little tweezers at? Here they are. But yeah, if you don't have enough spacers, we have some specifically designed for the free series, as well as some for the larger pivot multi-tools available on our site. Let's go with, you know what? I'm going to do the can opener first, just because I think it's going to be more effective in use along the edge of the tool. I just put one of those spacers in that came with the tool. And then we'll do the Phillips so it's kind of central. Although, yeah. Oh, you know what? Probably won't be as central. Let's go with the awl second, which I think is different from the way it's originally set up. I'm just working these in one by one. Sometimes the magnet here works for you, and sometimes it works against you, but we'll see how it goes. Slip that guy in there. Now I know we need a spring next. Oops, see, there you go. Prime example. Just getting that pivot just to poke just through the tools that are on. And then, let's see, this bar should go this way. And I've got one of the reasons I wanted this insert with the tweezers is I've been using them to help align tools as we assemble them. That's in place. Now, with that there, I might need more spacers first. I'm definitely going to need some spacers here. Come on now. Get on the... Doesn't want to let the pivot go through it. Let's see here. I have to pull this out from in front of it or behind the camera. Although maybe I can, let's see. So I'll try and fold these tools. Let me pull this off though. It's tricky behind a camera, I tell you. I'm trying to get better at it, but I'm going to grab just a punch here and just stretch that spring ever so slightly. There it went. Now it's on. And if I were doing this, if this was my final assembly, I'd probably do some testing and try different orientations. If we slide the knife blade in there, you see we're gonna need a fair few washers. So what I'm gonna do is grab, well, I'm just gonna grab a stack of them. I have just a fair few washers from different Free Series tools. And if I'm lucky, which I'm usually not. Oh yeah, I'm not lucky. Ooh, ooh, don't drop. Oh, they're gonna go everywhere. They are gonna go everywhere. Oh, they're not going everywhere because there's a magnet in there. They're all gonna stick to that magnet. Oh, yank as many of these out as we can. Yikes. See, they're all stuck to that magnet inside. Or actually a few that are pretty close. I'm going to start. I don't know what I'm going to do. I was going to try and slide these on, the ones that are near the pin. Oh, Jesus. Tell you what, I'm just going to my supply here. One thing that's nice about our washers is they are a bit thicker. So I'm just going to grab a couple of here. In the 3.5 millimeter diameter, that's the inner diameter, which matches the pivot of the Free Series tools. We go up to 0.5 millimeter, which I think is 2 or 3 times thicker than the ones that come with the tool. Ay. Still a nightmare, but I'll have to do fewer. Tell you what, I'm going to back the camera off and get these washers in place, and I will return in a moment. Okay, I managed to get the washers in place as well as the knife blade. You might be able to see there. I'm trying to be careful here because I screwed this up twice already and had to reset, but that was right. I just kept having the pivot slip back. So let's just get that snug and check the fitment. I like that a lot better. That could be just a little bit looser, but I like that better with the one spring, I think. So we'll play with the adjustment there. Let's see how the tools work. They fan out just fine. Could use a bit of oil, to be honest, but that works super well, actually. Okay, I dig that. Are they sticking to the magnet? They seem to be sticking to the magnet. Everything, and the spring holds that magnet in place, so that overhang isn't strictly speaking necessary. Yeah, everything seems pretty okay. They're sticking up a little bit. I don't know if they do that stock. I'll have to swap it back and take a look. But one other thing I've got is one of my Free P4 thumb bars that I've modified. I just filed this edge off of the nubbin that goes inside the tool. I'll see if I can just press fit that. So now it's got a thumb bar, which maybe I'm biased, but I like the look of it. So okay, that's interesting. Got our extra pair of tweezers to put away, and we do have our internal tools. Looks pretty decent. I did fuzzy skin on this. I don't know if you guys are familiar with 3D printing, but it gives it kind of this texture, eliminates some of the seam lines, but it does add this, or it doesn't add this. This line here, this seam, is just, I think, some vibration in the system as it was doing that flat layer there. But I tried opening up these holes. Like I said, the pin kind of works now. The pen I just cannot get down all the way, but the other ones more or less work. They'll wear in. Tweezers work great. That's really interesting. So yeah, I've got that's the tool I've made. I think that's everything actually. I'm surprised it actually was finished today, the way it was going. But like I said, the Phillips driver will be handy just around the shop, and the awl is useful, especially with that small blade. Screwdriver. I've got the can opener for cracking open some Swiss Army knives, which will be handy in the shop, and then a nice sharp knife for opening boxes, which I get a ton of. Got to take apart tons of tools to keep the shop going, which means I'm opening new Leathermans constantly. That's pretty nifty. Pretty happy with that. Like I said, I am going to reprint or redesign and reprint this spacer at some point. If it's up, I'll add a little addendum onto the video showing that, but it'll probably come in a future update. So hit subscribe if you want to see more of my random shop musings, and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. And I couldn't resist. I did go back and create my own 3D model of this part and printed a new version that fits the tools much better. I'm going to have that STL available soon, as well as potentially the part for sale on this and the T4. Make sure to subscribe to see that. I'm running out of time.